The House Senate Democrats are meeting today. Um, it looks now like I was wrong about who the DNC chair was going to be. It looks like it's going to be the gentleman from Minnesota, not the gentleman from Wisconsin, based on everything I hear. Um, and people think he might be good, but he's not the answer to what currently ails the Democrats. So, Dan, what are the current barriers? List two or three things for the Democrats getting their act together.
Yeah, look, the party chair never sets the messaging, just to be clear. The party chair does the mechanics and fundraising. So look, for me, it's I'm gonna go a little bit with Steve Elmendorf. It's ABC. They got to admit that they have a problem. Like they don't want to talk about the fact that immigration is a real problem, that the economy, beyond trying to offer a housing credit, that things aren't good. The pardons, a lot of the party is still pretty silent. They've got to be bold, offer solutions beyond the kind of small stuff. Like, what is our plan for immigration? Right? That's the kind of topic right now that seems to be front and center. The only thing we've said for the last 6 months is we had a good deal this summer and Trump wouldn't take it. Well, okay, like now what? And the last thing is confront the base. We've talked about it, but they're still frozen by it. Nobody wants to jump out and say, yes, deport criminals, illegal immigrants who are criminals. The pardons that Biden did were horrific. Like the party's got to get back. So you just, again, ABC, like it would be my
Yeah,
advice.
great list. Sean.
Well, I think Dan's right on immigration. The funny thing is CNN did this whole segment the other day where who's the gentleman that does the numbers now? Tall guy. Anyway.
My friend Harry?
Yes, that's it.
Harry
So he
Hinton.
did this thing where he showed where basically the consensus on mass deportations among four national polls, New York Times, et cetera, was anywhere between 54 and the low 60s. That the majority of Americans support mass deportations. And then he said, look at where it was in 2016. It was like 32 or 34%, meaning the country has swung 20 points towards Trump. So you, as a Democratic Party, they might want to think about how do we find something. And I would argue that this is where you take the border security that the president is proposing and talk about, okay, once we get it, they own it, we'll secure the border. How do we get holistically immigration reform?
But I think the part of that though is like one of the things to do, because we're not going to agree with Trump on everything, is to say, okay, here are the people that should go. We support this. Let's clean the city. Now, he's gone too far. It's inhumane. We're not going to get 20 million people out. We're not going to tear all the people who work in the farm fields out. Like, that's where you create Trump is extreme. We are reasonable down the middle. It's like the John Fetterman area. And that is where there is an opportunity to try, but you have to admit the problems.
Right.